Aries. Aries, this is going to be your monthly for April 2025, and we've got a storm moving in. Feels great. But for you Aries, let's see what we've got going on and see how you're going to deal with it. You're going to get 5 cards for the month, and we may or may not pull some extras to see what the hidden influences are, blah, blah, blah. We all get it. And we got 2 that are about to jump out. So I'm going to do the Chariot first, and Chariot in reverse. Not being able to make the moves that you want to in order to reach your stability right now. However, it is going to evolve throughout the month. But ensure you're not taking people up on false options, distractions. It feels like you could get distracted by some parties, a wedding maybe, and someone trying to keep you off balance. It's almost as though if in the workplace you're finding this imbalance, that it's because they've changed management, and whenever they change management style because of who is hands-on, and you may be getting a little bit more involvement than you normally do from management. And while you may have wanted this involvement before, now that it's in play and it's not 100% to your benefit, it's going to take some work more to align yourself with what's going on and who's running the show, because of there's a certain amount of autonomy that you had before, which is why it seems like you had this 4 of Wands situation in your life, and that was like the general vibe that you had. You knew what you were going to face at work. It was difficult, maybe at times, but you knew how to handle difficult periods. And it's very likely that you feel like you were robbed out of a promotion. You've been showing that you are very capable of dealing with some of the demands or the issues that your current workplace is finding, but they hired somebody from the outside to take this position instead of you. They may not be aware that a lot of these issues are because of certain in-house relationships that are going on, possible nepotism, and yeah, I think that's why the 7 of Cups, the normally it's the Lovers, that's the Choices card, but I really find that the 7 of Cups is really coming off like someone making the wrong choice or deciding that something is a choice whenever it's not. And this just flipped out of the deck while I was messing around with it, so I'll address that in a moment. You might be very tempted to, because this looks like a promotion that you feel like you were robbed out of, because you have ideas, and be very careful giving these ideas to the person that was just brought in, or the person who was just promoted over you. Because with the Ace of Pentacles coming out in reverse like that, you feel like you've been robbed of an opportunity, and you thought you had some more upward mobility in whatever it is that you were doing. You thought you had some more choices to evolve, openness to evolve, and like you were ready to make the moves. You were ready to make the decisions, and that's why the Chariot came out in reverse, and now you don't have any decisions to make because you're not in the position to make those decisions. Which is why we have the 3 of Pentacles right there, right next to the 7 of Cups. I don't think this is going to be a bad thing for you in the long run, Aries. There is a chance that you've been feeling like you were going to leave this position, and if this isn't a work position, and it has something to do more with personal relationships, you may have been feeling like you were excuse me whenever I put it like this, you may have felt like you were the dominator in a lot of your personal relationships, because You were the one that was making the hard and fast decisions. You were the one that was making the plans, making sure things went off without a hitch, making sure things happened whenever they needed to happen. Like the bills were paid, everyone had enough money for whatever it is that they needed to do. And it wasn't that you were giving them money, but ensuring that they had all of their ducks in a row, and almost acting like a parental figure. Like you were the parent friend, ensuring that everyone was taken care of and everyone was going to have a good time, which is not necessarily always a position that you see Aries in a lot of the time. Honestly, that would come off as more of like I hate to say it, but like a Cancer thing, a very social Cancer with a lot of fire in their chart, which I'm a Cancer and I have a lot of fire in my chart and I'm not like that. But like just with the energy and everything, it's like there's nurturing and then there's the energy, the movement, the social capability and everything that wants to foster stability but still have like the freedom within the stability. And that may have been the position that you found yourself in, Aries, but I think you're about to hand everybody back to themselves. It may be a process throughout the entire month, but yeah, and then we have the boundaries card, the Nine of Wands, and with the Nine of Wands, I think this is you building your own inner resources rather than really caring about what it is everybody else has going on. And it really is the tall fences make good neighbors, because it's easier for you to mind your own business and not worry about someone if you don't have to see and be a witness to everybody's life around you. You don't feel like you have to fix it. April is likely going to show you drawing a lot of boundaries or distancing yourself a little bit and focusing on what it is that you want out of life, and realizing that in the position that you've been in recently, you haven't been able to get what you wanted. And it's likely that events have recently showed you that's not going to happen the way that you thought it was going to happen. You're not going to be seen for what you want to be seen as in the position that you're in right now. And it may be to your benefit, even though there's not really any movement right now in these cards. I think you might be planning movement. You might be preparing yourself within the next 2 or 3 months to make a job change, maybe even make an industry change, and distance yourself from the situation that you currently find yourself in. And that stretches from love and relationships, personal relationships, to your work. So whatever it is that you find yourself doing right now, Aries, I really do feel like you have options other than what you've pinned yourself down to. And whenever you start letting go a little bit of familiarity, because I almost want to draw Sagittarius energy into this, because Sagittarius has a tendency to have no problem moving from place to place and maintaining relationships. I don't really see you maintaining these relationships because oh no, Sagittarius has that kind of energy. Like they will be perfectly happy in one patch of flowers, just a butterfly doing this and doing that and going from flower to flower that they're familiar with, and then all of a sudden disappearing, going off onto a totally different field a mile away, and still somehow maintaining connection with some of the energy from their like essentially previous life, but then transitioning to the new one with no problem. And I think that may be the kind of energy that you are about to start infusing into your own life, Aries. They are also a fire sign, so it may be what you need right now. I don't think you really have a lack of foresight and planning overall, which is what that Ace of Pentacles may be representing. I think you just don't know yet because you were set on this set of plans working out for you. And you're finding out that it's not going to. It's not going to happen the way that you in your fantasy life, it was going to work out. I do think you're going to be able to make the change, though. You just might be looking back at this like, that was supposed to work. I did what I was supposed to do, and I was responsible about it. I did what was necessary, and then somehow it didn't matter. And what's very difficult about this is that you are a cardinal sign. And all of my 4 are in cardinal placement, so I understand. You make plans, and then they don't go the way that you thought they were going to go, because I'm trying to make this sound not as foolhardy as it may be, but cardinal signs, pretty much, it is their way. Like, they are the way. That is the direction that things are going, and it's a movement energy associated with the cardinal signs that's just may make you come off as stubborn, or maybe even pig-headed, because you do know where it is that you want to go, where you need to go. And other people may find that difficult because of that direct kind of... Again, that's the same kind of energy that I get off of Scorpio, but I get it in a different way. It may help to figure out which decan of Aries it is that you are being influenced by, because I'm going to put this in the pinned comment up at the top underneath this post, but so keep an eye out for that. I'll put the dates in there, and I'll define the decans or whatever, but that may help you understand your energy and why it may not have been working out for you as well as you hoped right now. Because it's likely that this is a repeating cycle for you. Like, you make plans, and because it involves other people and relying on other people, they fall through. And you're not a sign that has a problem with independence. Not that you like to be alone necessarily, but you don't have a problem with independence and doing what you need to do, and maybe making people feel like, okay, well, if you're okay doing that on your own, then you don't need me, and making them feel like they're not wanted. But I don't think that's really a problem that you're facing. If anything, that's a problem that's how other people may be making you feel right now. And you know what? Why not? Yeah, because I know Taurus and Gemini are on here, but I really want to say, Aries, that it's almost like you need to start powering your fire a little bit. You may have been playing by some rules that have not been serving you too well, and it's not necessarily your misuse of power, but if you start bringing things up to the higher ups, ensure you're willing to stick with this argument. I'm not saying that... I don't think it's you're going to get fired if you bring this up. I think if you go to bring this up, you're prepared to go ahead and leave, because they're not doing what they need to do as the higher ups. And that's putting you in a position where you want me to be responsible for what you think that I'm doing or what I'm not doing, and yet I can stand here and point out what it is that you're not doing, and you're just going to say, well, that's how it is. I don't think you're going to be okay with that, Aries. And you're not going to be afraid to bring it up if anybody asks. So, and this isn't you being confrontational. If anything, this is a slow burn for you, and you're not setting anybody's house on fire. You're not coming for anybody, but if they come to you, they better be prepared to walk on some hot coals, because they should have known what they were walking into to begin with. So, Aries, that is where I'm going to leave you right now. I will be doing a mid-month, and I'm still doing the daily, so keep an eye out for those. It looks like this month overall you're prepared to make some decisions, but you may be resisting because you want things to work out the way that they were supposed to, but it's really almost as though you can see that they're not going to. People aren't keeping their promises, and there's likely a power shift or a power change that you had no control over, but yet you're still expected to deal with it. So, and it does feel like this is energy coming within the first week and through the second and third week. So here in about 2 or 3 months, you are going to find yourself in a radically different place. So please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It is right down there. Everyone knows where it's at. And I will see you guys later. Stay tuned for your dailies and keep an eye out for your mid-month.